Bants, just some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining the idea of cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. Please note that some of the conversations we have may be triggering. Please reach out to your local support service in Australia. That's Lifeline 131114.
Breeza!
Maso!
Hello, mate. How you going?
Good. I liked how we mixed that up then.
Yeah, shaking things up a little bit. Keeping everyone on their toes.
Never know what you're going to get, folks.
How's your week been, Nate? Tell me all about it.
Oh, yeah, all good here, mate. I actually wanted to have a quick little natter about my girls' trip, which happened in November. No, yes, it did in November.
Tell us all about it.
Generally, December's a bit of a blur, isn't it? So, yeah, that was at the end of November. So there was, and keeping in mind, I've never done a sober girls' trip. Didn't think they existed, mate. Like seriously, they're like a unicorn.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I absolutely friggin' loved it.
Yes, this is so good.
So good. So
who knew?
Who knew? Let me just unpack it a little bit. I was fully prepared with a whole swagger of alcohol-free drinks. And there was 8 of us who went, and there was one girl who I'd never met before. So this wasn't like my core group of, high school buddies. Great group of girls. And, yeah, we did really wholesome stuff that's good for the soul.
Wholesome. I love that. Did you give the new girl an initiation?
Well, no, because she was part of their group. So, essentially I was probably the new girl, muscling my way into their group.
The new sober girl. Awkward.
Yeah. But I had my other friend who doesn't drink also, so she was there as well. Yeah. But, instead of watching the sun come up after a bender, we actually got up and went for a walk to watch the sunrise.
Yes, I love it.
That was trying new things, Tick.
Amazing.
We went out for lunch on the Saturday after we did the ropes course. We were at Lawn and we did this really cool ropes course. It was so fun.
It looked unreal.
Yeah, I was like, I got high, but
you did get high.
Without anything but just, life. And when we were having lunch, so we had a late lunch on the Saturday and went to this cool little, little seafood restaurant that's been there for years at the end of the pier in Lawn. And I looked around, there was a group of girls near us and they were all whining on and they were having the best time. And I looked at them and I was like, go girls. I was happy to sit there with my mineral water because that's all they had to offer, which is okay. And, I just looked on and I was happy that these group of girls, they looked like they were, old high school pals, hadn't seen each other for ages and were having a wow of a time. Wine was, getting sloshed around everywhere, but they were great. And there wasn't a part of me going, I wish I was doing that. I was just like, oh, good on them.
Yes.
They're having a ball.
That's unreal, mate.
So good. And I did learn something really interesting about myself on the weekend.
Go.
We were sitting there. So on the Friday night, we played Trivial Pursuit. So Trivial Pursuit sounds really nerdy, but I tell you what, if you want to put some spice on a game, make everyone play it with an accent.
I love this.
So they have to read out the questions with an accent and, oh, my gosh, we wet our pants, in laughter. So it was hilarious. And then on the Saturday night, we went out for dinner and then we all came back because we had rented a beautiful home and we settled in and watched a movie. And I was sitting on the couch going, if I wasn't not drinking, I would be getting everyone up and about. I would be making everyone do shots. I would be on the balcony. Music would be pumping. It'd be a full party.
Yeah.
Which made me think, heck, am I the influence? Was I the influencer? Was I not the bad girl, but was I the one, getting the party started, making everyone else involved?
Enabler,
yeah. And I went to bed that night and I was sharing a bed with my friend who also wasn't drinking. And she said to me, she goes, Breeza, did you know no one else was really drinking tonight? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, that makes me think that I was the one that made everyone drink. And I'm like, mate, I said, I had exactly the same thoughts in my head.
Wow.
And I voiced that on the Saturday to one of my other friends who was there and I said what I was thinking. She goes, yeah. She goes, If you girls had been drinking, I would have been up there partying too. Because you weren't drinking, I was like, oh, I'm not going to drink.
It's all on you.
All on me.
What a light bulb moment.
100%, mate.
Wow.
So, yeah, I could bang on about the whole weekend, but I'm not going to. But, yeah, I would highly recommend it. And, look, I have had some absolute cracking alcohol-fueled girls' weekends that I would never take back for the world. But I've done it differently this time. Just done it differently.
Yep, turn it on its head.
Yep, double thumbs up.
Alcohol-free. Oh, mate, that's so good. Double thumbs up from me as well. How good.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. What about you, mate? How's your week been?
Yes. Well, I did something a bit good. I did a thing.
Talk to me.
I built a little online shop.
Oh,
Yes. So this little Lisk lid. So my little body positivity, body neutrality, body confidence page called Lisk at Lisk_official. I got some hats made up and they've arrived and they look so good. And I'm super, super, super fussy about style and fit. It has to be the right hat. There was a whole process and a whole palaver, a story for another time. That story for another time section is getting quite deep, isn't it? It's a whole episode on its own.
We've parked up a lot of stories, mate.
We could really ramble. Rein it in. Anyway, the whole process of getting these hats was quite a process, and I was so fortunate to have had a lot of guidance along the way. The initial hats were from a surf brand called Whistler, and I contacted Whistler and they said they didn't have any without the patch on, but they pointed me in the right direction. They actually sent me out half a dozen of their actual branded hats just for free, like so nice. So I've got this whole selection of hats that ended up getting hold of this particular style, and it fits so good. You know how some people are not hat wearers? I promise you this will go on every head. The patch was made up. It was sent to the hats were sent to Sydney. Patch was made up beautifully. That all got sent back. Then I had to build an online website, online shop. It's called the Little Lisk Shop. It's in my link tree on at Lisk_official Instagram. Underscore all the things. Anyway, find it. And they're gorgeous. And I had to I had to get the boxes to send them in because I don't want them crushed. You can't just chuck them in a satchel.
Sure, yep.
And I had to get little thank you and a bookmark. Now, Carly actually gave me this idea rather than a thank you note. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can see this. But I've got the thank you card, but it's the shape of a bookmark because I love being practical. Actually, question, are you a bookmark or a dog eater?
Mate, I'm running a dirty receipt from a purchase I made as my bookmark at the moment. Bookmark. I'm a bookmark pleb.
Yeah.
So I need a good one.
Funnily enough, I'm a dog ear. But maybe because I haven't had a bookmark, but this will be my new bookmark. Anyway, so it's a gorgeous bookmark. It's got all the details on the back. Carly, our darling friend Carly. Hi, Carly. She actually suggested the bookmark idea.
Brilliant.
I was wanting to make some sort of Christmas decoration that people could hang on the Christmas tree, but that's just me going extra. Keep it simple. Bookmark. And it's a personalised little chocolate.
Oh, I love it. Mate, that's massive. Yeah.
It's cute as, isn't it?
I want to eat it. That is massive.
So it's really gorgeous. And Carly gave that idea with the chocolates as well. Now, question. Did you know that there's two sides to tissue paper? Do you know there's a shiny side and a dull side?
I was today old when I learnt that. No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until I was packing it the other day, and I was like, because I have a hot pink colour and then a pale pink. It's this whole pink situation. And I looked at it and went, there's a shiny side and a dull side. Did not know.
Know. So what goes on the outside?
Shiny. So when you're looking at it, it'd be shiny side. I don't think anyone's looking that closely, but you've learnt something today, people. Please do take care. Attention to detail when you're getting your tissue paper sorted. Anyway, I'm super stoked. The whole process of getting a website or a little online shop, it's actually quite a palaver. It took me ages to do, and particularly when I've got no experience with any of that stuff. I was just hacking about, but I'm real proud of myself.
That's huge, mate. That is well done to you. Congratulations.
Thanks
I'm
so
super
much.
proud, and I can't wait to wear my Lisk lid.
Yes, you should. It should be arriving today.
Oh, look out.
Yay.
You gotta have shade on it, shade on it, you're gonna figure it out, oh, they're gonna know.
Righto, Maso. I actually had... I've got the giggles already. I need to rein it in. I actually had a shame story ready to go, but then I flipped it because I thought I just wanted to lighten things up a little bit because the shame story I was going to rip out is quite a difficult one for me to tell.
Oh,
so I've parked it.
Fuck that.
So this one, I just want to give a bit of context around it before I kick it off. And I actually came across this post on Instagram the other day, and it talks about your prefrontal cortex.
Oh.
So we also call that the PFC. Now, let me tell you what that does. It is where your impulse control, decision-making, planning, values, working memory / attention span, and personality lives, and so much more. Okay? So when we drink alcohol, booze turns off our prefrontal cortex. Just turns it off.
Good night.
Good night. And
Close for business.
Let me tell you this in this story I'm about to tell. My PFC had packed its bags, left the building. See you later. So, of course, it's going to be a story in my 20s again. I reckon I was around 24 because I think I had come back from England for Christmas, and I remember we had organised a girls' Christmas catch up as we do. So it was a bunch of all us high school girls, and I'm pretty sure we were on a pub crawl. You know, your typical Christmas girls catch up, just get sloshed on a pub crawl. So we had arrived at it was our last destination. It was still daylight, and we were out the front having a dart because obviously you can't smoke in pubs. So we're having a gasper at the front, and where this pub is there's a set of traffic lights, right? So we're all out the front, you know, hoo-haring around. This motorbike pulls up to the traffic lights. Now, it's not just your typical motorbike. It's a motorbike with a sidecar on it. You know?
I can see where this is going.
You know me too well, mate. So, dude on a bike rocks up, and all us girls are up and about, hurrying around. We're like, give us a ride, mate. So this dude, who is anonymous because he's got his big helmet on, he like wheels on over, and me and my other friend, whose PFC has obviously been shut down for the day, we jump on the motorbike. So she jumps on the back, and Breeza jumps in the sidecar. So I'm like inches from the ground. Don't know, and my heart's racing as I'm telling the story because you know what? I think I'll get to this part of the story in a moment. But this story could have ended so differently to how it did end, right? So here we are, and I can't even remember if we had helmets on. I'm thinking no, because I don't think old mate's carrying 2 spare helmets around just in case he picks up 2 drunk girls. So anyway, so off we go. The girls who were like our mates who were waiting at the pub are just like, you know, fist pumping, like hoo-haring, really encouraging us. So off we go, and I can still remember the ride we had, and there was one moment because we were heading out of town basically, and I reckon we would have gone about 6K out of town, and there was a split second where I thought, holy crap, we don't know this dude, we don't know where he's taking us, you know, what's gonna happen. So obviously I was like, oh, sobered up a little bit, like, oh God, this is not a great situation. Thankfully, we got to a roundabout and he did a U-bolt and went back, and I was like, oh, okay, now I can enjoy the rest of the ride. Woo! Anyway, so then he brought us back to the pub, pulled up, took his helmet off. He was about 125. My friend and I looked at each other and went, oh, my God. We were thinking this like some hot motorbike dude. No, he was seriously about 105, 125. Possibly shouldn't have been driving a motorbike.
You have just made his life.
Yes, he was having a crack. But, you know, we still tell that story. But I think about that story and think that could have ended in tragedy. Yeah. And imagine if it did. Yeah. And my mum and dad got a knock on the door from a policeman saying, you know, your daughter's been in a motorbike accident. They'd be like, oh, no, she's out with her friends at a Christmas party. Like, what the heck, mate?
Yes, I know. It's that split-second decision between something going really bad, like tits up, or a joyride on a sidecar on a motorbike. And it could have, you know,
Dumb.
We lose all inhibitions, don't we?
Yeah, I was not doing that sober. Imagine if I just waved down some dude and maybe, hey mate, give us a ride. Like
in your lunch break.
in your lunch break. So PFC, keep it on, folks. Keep it turned on.
Keep it switched on. Yeah, your cortex no good.
Yeah, because it can just lead to disaster.
Yeah.
I was lucky.
You were really lucky, and I think we've got many a story like that you look back and go, Jesus, that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, and unfortunately for some people it is disastrous.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for sharing that, mate. But you made his life, I'm sure. Still pretty bloody funny though. You can say it's funny now.
Mate,
like,
funny now, but just what a dick. What a dick.
Yeah.
That's me, not the guy. Over to you, mate.
Thanks, mate. Well, actually, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
Yay.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thanks so much. I love birthdays. They're so fun. And I always do something really special. And I wish I could say this happened in my 20s, but it was actually my last birthday.
So last year, mate.
Last year. Favourite thing in the world is to hit up wineries. And there's one favourite winery. I'm not sure whether I should name it. Might just skip that.
Off air, mate.
It's one of our favourite wineries ever, and it has, I'll give you a little rundown. It has 30 permanent sculptures sensitively sited throughout the grounds, from monumental works into open spaces to more intimate pieces begging to discover amongst the wetlands and vines. Okay, so this beautiful winery has it's a modern Australian cuisine, has a piazza, has like a big outdoor kitchen, it like looks down into the valley of vineyards, and then you have your lunch and then you get your bottle of wine and you toddle down to the sculpture park. And it's so divine. Obviously, I'm already poleaxed before we've taken this walk into the sculpture. Anyway, we're tootling around there having a lovely time. And there's one sculpture actually that I really love. It's like a massive big, like a bus stop, like a chair, like a wooden chair.
Oh.
And it's so big, you need a little dink to get up. You're actually probably not meant to sit on it, but I always get tired to give me a little oik up so I can sit on it and get a photo. And I look this big and the chair is just massive. And,
yeah, awesome.
The caption is, waiting for me mates and stuff like that. So it's
good for the gram.
Good for the gram, great for the gram, gets lots of hits. Anyway, so we're having a great time around the Sculpture Park. That's all fun. Then we get back up onto the grass. It looks to the valley, and they've got these beautiful big picnic rugs, like these round picnic rugs that were just sort of, popped here and popped there. And so we sat on that and drank some more wine. I don't know how many bottles we're in. We're probably up to 4 by this stage. I don't know, Rosé, just hooking in. Just loves it. Anyway, I'm rolling around the ground. Anyway, I said to her, this will be really good. Take a boomerang of me. So I laid down on the round picnic rug and rolled up myself up like a burrito. I kept rolling back and rolling, so I looked like this little burrito. And then the next time that I rolled back out of it, the managers and stuff were coming over and saying, it's time to go, guys, wrap it up. There was actually no one else there. We were the last ones there. We were well out, so it had closed long ago, but I'm still in my burrito having a great time. Anyway, I thought, someone's left their picnic blanket here. That must come home. What a score. Can we please address the fact that we are not thieves, but the last shame stories we have told, we have pilfered everything.
Yeah, it's been brought up in conversation to me. We'll blame our PFC on that one.
Yeah. And Let It Be with Fee did address this with us and say,
so did Doc.
Oh, did he? Yeah. Not a thief, but every Anyway, so we thought we'd got this awesome new picnic rug. We're just real stoked with ourselves because someone had left it behind. Woke up the next day, that is so bad. This picnic rug, it's not just your average just picnic rug. It would have been from, I don't know, Country Road or something. It would have been a good couple of hunch.
Yeah.
I couldn't bear it. I had to take it back. So I went back to the winery the next day and I said, I'm so sorry. Somehow we've ended up with this.
In my pocket. It's in my pocket.
I'm so sorry. It must be someone's, thinking that someone would have left it behind. It actually belongs to the winery.
Oh, mate.
I've got that video of me rolling up and back like a burrito. It is just, I'll see if I can find it now, but I will post it.
I was going to say post it.
I will post it on Instagram. It's pretty funny.
Did they share it onto their socials, the winery? Did you tag them?
I think what they've got, when you walk into, it happens a lot down here in St Kilda, they've got pictures of people, have you seen this person? Like, bard or a thief. My photo's on the front of the winery saying, have you seen this person? Not allowed in.
I feel like it ended well. I feel like you redeemed yourself, mate.
Redeemed. But, yeah, it was pretty funny. So happy birthday, me.
Have you got anything planned for birthday?
Yes. Well, it's going to be a bit of a different birthday this year. So I'm going to hopefully be in Bendigo, actually.
Oh, Ripper.
Yeah.
Ripper.
Yeah. So I'm still in the process of organising that. So, yeah, stand by and hear the breakdown. Actually, just quickly on that, it's organising your birthday and where you're going to go when you used to go to wineries.
Tricky one.
Yes. And then I thought, picnic in the park.
I was about to pull out a picnic. that elusive picnic we talk about.
Yes, because then I can take my own alcohol-free drinks rather than go to a bar and go, ugh.
And everyone likes getting out, drinking outside. Everyone likes a bit of outdoor boozing.
So I think I might do that because then I can just get really stuck into it.
And bring some games. Like you could bring some games and
quickly just back on the trivia. I didn't ask you what accent were you running in your trivia pursuit.
So I ran a English accent.
Give us a go.
And I'm not doing it, mate.
You're right.
What have I got? What have I got to read?
Go on.
Will you drink again? Is moderation possible? Yeah, it's pretty bad. But my friend did like a sort of Donald Duck. And we lost it. I don't even know how she did it.
That's so good. That's clever.
Yeah, it was fun. Before we crack on with today's topic, Maso, I'm going to crack into an Altina. It is called a Sangria.
Oh,
Haven't had it before.
Can't wait to tuck in. Can I show you? Altina sent us this little gift pack. How amazing.
Good is it?
Look at this goodness inside. I'm so stoked. There is this little, what do we call those? Little flower garnish?
A little flower garnish, yep.
Yep, so good. And then they've got the Sangria, which I want to try right now.
Yep.
And they've also given us a little ice tray as well.
So it's a whole kit. It's called a cocktail can kit. It's on their website. And guess how much it is, Maso? Like I took a stab before I saw the price, and I was thinking probably $50. Oh. It's $35.
No way.
Yeah, that whole box is $35.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous. So well done, Altina. Yep, love it. You can actually get these Altina from Brunswick Aces.
Yes, you can. And don't forget to use our Dissy code, which is FLAUNT10, FLAUNT 10. I'm going to crack mine.
Crack on. I can't wait to give it a crack. Thank you so much, Altina, for getting on board.
And look at the beautiful colour.
Oh, colour on.
You have to watch it on YouTube to see the colour.
Yeah.
But it's sensational.
How gorgeous.
I actually did a story this morning, Maso, about the Sangria, and I said in my story, and I know you can relate.
Yeah.
When I was in Spain, I had that much Sangria,
mate. Oh, it was in my veins, honestly. Well, I still think of that very fondly. You could buy it in a litre carton.
Can you?
Yes, I was buying like at running the bulls. Sorry,
Altina. No, yeah, Sangria. I was eating it at one point.
Yes, it was so good. Yes.
Bottoms up, mate.
Cheers, mate. Let's have a crack.
Let's have a swig. So excuse me.
Cheers. I got new glasses. I went to the op shop the other day and bought some new glasses.
I love shopping the op shop glasses. Sensational.
Oh, that is so good. So good.
That is so good.
Cheers, Altina, very much. Thank you.
I'm into it. I feel like it's going to be a good summer drink.
Do you know what I really love? That we can have this at the time we're recording and we can still kick on with our day.
Pop into the office after having a little swig.
Yes, it's so good.
Hey,
all right. Tell us, what are we talking about today, Breeza?
So we are talking about moderation, drinking in moderation, and we've titled today's topic, Moderation Nation, Population Not Us. And do you know what? I feel like we've got people in our corner because William Porter, I was going to say William Potter. William Porter, our best mate, who has written 2 books. The first one's called Alcohol Explained. He has a whole chapter dedicated to why moderation is nearly impossible. So it's chapter 26, titled Just One Drink. Kicks off on page 190. I want to read one sentence here that's like a massive mic drop. All right, here we go. The fact is that when we cannot resist drink number 1, we are not going to be able to resist drink number 2 or 3 or 4, etc.
Yeah. Oh, boom.
How spot on's that, mate? That's like, I feel like that is me.
Yes, it absolutely is me. And when you said moderation, I scoffed out loud. I laughed in your face. Because it's true. Like, if you look up the meaning moderation, it says the avoidance of excess and extremes.
Not me.
Nope, not me either. And it says here, definition of moderation in a way that is reasonable and not excessive.
Wow.
No, not me either. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've tried. Like, you know what? I have been able to moderate, but I can't keep it up. So I might go one night where I'm like, oh, I'm just going to have 2 drinks and drive home or whatever it may be. So that's fine, but I cannot sustain that. I'm not doing it the next weekend. I'm tying one on.
Yes. What's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah. I'm with you. I wish I could be a moderator, but like everything in my life, I'm all or nothing. Like there's no, just take it easy. You know, I'm either flat out or flat line.
That's a good little quote early on.
Straight up.
Can I share a little story that as I was thinking about this topic, mate? So I was like, oh, I've actually got, obviously I was aware that I couldn't moderate, but subconsciously aware maybe, because when I had I think it was date number 3 or 4 with my partner, we were,
hi Doc.
we went away for the weekend. So we had an overnight stay, and I was so wound up and nervous that I was going to tie one on and just get absolutely blotto and not remember the evening, that I had a little yarn to one of my mentors. And I told her how I was feeling. I'm like, I'm so scared. I'm just going to go. We're going to a winery. Like, we were going to a winery. So there's a massive red flag right there.
You want to turn up into a burrito. Imagine that on your face.
It's like, I'm out of here. So I was fully aware of the fact that we were going to a winery. We were doing wine tasting in the afternoon and dinner that night, all in the winery. So there's no reason to drive anywhere, just, have a skinful. So I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, I had a really good chat to my mentor, and I said, I'm so worried that I am going to just write myself off, and he's going to be like, what the heck? What the heck have I got into? So she gave me some really good pointers and said, limit yourself to 2 glasses of wine during the day, which I was happy to do because we were doing wine tasting was only an hour of the day. So I was like, that's okay. What threw me out though is when we got to the accommodation, oh, here's a glass of wine. I'm like, oh no, my plan's been bloody abort plan. But I stayed on track. So I had a glass of wine. But yeah, she said, when you're drinking the wine, don't have it in your hand. Have a sip, put it on the table. So it's out of your hand.
Good
because
one.
If you're sitting there kicking back with a glass of wine in your hand, the natural thing is to drink it.
Hinge.
Yeah, that's right. It's just like a natural act. Put it to your mouth, put it down. So she said, if it's not in your hand and it's away from you, then the
Up
temptation.
the other end of the table. You have to walk to get it.
That's it. So, and then she said the other one was always have a water there and always make sure your water's filled up. So keep drinking that water. Make sure you're rehydrating in between. And so I ended up nailing it, mate.
Oh, well done.
Bottom line
is so impressive.
Yeah, and he I don't know if he was watching his drinks either, but he didn't have a skinful either. And I think if I was hooking in, we would have been 5 bottles down by 9 p.m.
No doubt.
So I suppose that's one way you can, if you are looking at moderating, mate, just don't have the glass in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you're like me and Maso, just don't have alcohol around you at all.
Right. Get a baseball glove and just so it's real awkward. Just any obstacle.
Put a muzzle on.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yes.
Yes, that's really great. That's really, really good advice.
But it took
Really?
all my might. It took all my might, and it was so
No doubt.
foreign. It was so foreign for me to just have two glasses. I think over the course of the day, I might have had like 3 or 4 glasses. That was over like a
Mate.
6-hour period.
Even when you were telling me what your mentor had suggested, my head was going, 2 glasses? Are you kidding? Like, I found that impossible. It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I thought, how can you possibly? But incredible advice, and you took it. And I think that's wonderful that you have your mentor there that can talk you through it and say, do this, because you need that. Yeah, I love that you reach out to your mentor for that. That's unreal. It's something I haven't done before.
Yeah, and isn't it funny though that I thought, like, I knew that I had, I don't know if you call it a problem, but problem. I have trouble speaking sometimes. We know this.
It's a problem.
I was obviously aware of the amount that I was drinking, and I thought to myself, how is that reflecting to this person that I'm getting to know?
Yeah. If you were with your girls, you wouldn't care. You just go hell for leather and just get on the
totally.
lash. I think you're just being really conscious because you really like this guy and you don't want to be a complete mess. So, yeah, good for you. I'm into it.
That was the only time I did moderate, mind you.
You just got him over the line.
That's right. Got a hook, line, and sinker. Game on here.
Then you just let it all hang out. And he's still stuck. Well
He's still
done.
stuck.
Sucked in.
Still hanging in there.
Oh, that's so good.
And the other thing I was thinking, I'll throw this question on you, mate, is how many times has your car had a sleepover? Because you went with good intentions of moderating, and then rubber arm came out.
Oh, yeah, totally. So many times. That having to go pick it up the next day and on a hot summer's day too.
Yes.
Oh, and yeah, particularly if you're in the same clothes from the night before, that's not great either.
And you know what? In our culture, like it's in our culture, some people have a pub car.
Oh,
Yeah.
a pub car.
Yeah.
I've not heard of this one.
Really?
No,
Oh, let me
in our culture.
Yes.
What's this culture?
Let me go on. So it is when like people have their normal car they drive around, but they've got like a bit of a clapped out automobile that they're happy to they drive that to the pub, happy to leave it there because they know they're going to have a skinful. They leave their like pub car there and they get a taxi home. The next day they pick up their pub car.
I didn't know it was a pub car.
It might be like a country.
Oh, like
when the
kids-
country Victoria thing.
yeah, okay.
Oh, not Victoria, but country Australia thing. I don't think people in the city are doing it, maybe, but yeah.
Have to ask that question.
Yeah, do you have a pub car?
We're not going to take the Touareg tractor. We'll leave the Porsche at the pub.
That's it.
It's like, the kids that are catching the school bus and they drive the clapped out old Falcon Ute down to the bus stop and leave it at the mailbox.
Yes.
Right. Cool.
This is a pub car.
Yeah. So, moderation, it's not for me, basically. I really wish I could say that I moderate, but, yeah, I've tried various things over the years. Well, actually, let's look at it. 14 months off the gas, got back on it, tried moderating, didn't work.
Did you? How long was your window, do you reckon, of moderating? A day?
Yeah, day. I don't know. Well, actually, probably more so the last lot of sobriety that was in lockdown last year. So 7 months off it and then got back on it. And I really agonised about getting back on it. Like I stood at that bottle shop going, I don't know whether I should. Like I knew that it was not going to be a great decision. And we both said to each other, no, it's not going to be like last time. We don't want to go back the way that we were. We'd be really conscious. We really sold a deal. Like we made a deal. We'd only drink when we go out. We'd only drink on date days. We wouldn't have booze in the house. All the deals.
Yeah.
Out the window. Within a couple of weeks, realistically. Like it just seeps in. It just starts to, I think I remember going down to one of the places that we frequented regularly for dinner and just, we'd have a lemon lime bitters, and then the next time we were there, we might just have 1 glass of rosé, or we might say, let's just have 2 glasses of rosé, no bottles.
Yeah.
And then it just creeps on, because you might have had a really shitty day and might be really stressful, and we're just like, bugger it.
I like that analogy. It seeps in, because I fantasize still, Maso. Like, I do fantasize about saying, I'll just have a drink when it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Or I'll have a drink on date night, or I'm still telling myself that story in my head every now and then.
Yeah. Well, I think and it's really funny, I think, because we're from 2 different spots, because this is your first go at sobriety, whereas this is my 3rd go.
Mm.
And I just know, and it's funny, like, even after talking to Nat from Mindful Mocktail the other day, and she said about saying that you're never drinking again is huge. And I said that the first time.
Yeah, right.
So I broke that deal. So I think you've got to, that for some people, definitely don't drink again. Absolutely. Don't drink again. I think that's the best thing you can actually do.
That's what you said to me, mate.
I did say to you, 100%.
You said don't do it.
Yeah. Just depends. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Definitely not an expert, but I think I still fantasize, and it's a little part of me that I do miss about drinking, is that, I don't know, it's just the ceremony and the first little drink and the confidence in the air, and everything's a bit sexy and nice and romantic and fun. I miss that too, the first couple of drinks, but it's never just the first couple of drinks.
That's it. There's only that little window. There's that little window that you get where everything's awesome, and then it just goes downhill. Yeah,
it's it's not worth it.
You cross that line, and then next minute you've lost an earring, you've lost a shoe, you're in a gutter, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
I did want to compare the whole moderation thing to, do you remember and I looked this up on YouTube the other day, actually. Do you remember in the 90s when Pringles hit the market?
Oh, once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah.
I just stole your line.
No, that's fine. But that's like, you remember that, because they did a great marketing campaign. It was all over TV. And I remember as a kid eating Pringles going, yeah, they're bloody right. Like, I can't just stop at one. Once you pop, you can't stop. And that's what it's like for drinking for me.
Yeah.
Once I pop that champagne, woo, it's on. It's game on. But, yeah, I suppose now once, through education and feeling the benefits of not drinking, like, I know that once, if I was to pop that champagne cork, that I'm going back to that pattern, that drinking pattern. So I know not to do that.
Yes. Yeah, because actually that elevator analogy.
Yeah, that Nat said.
Exactly.
Go back to where you were.
Yeah, you go back to where you were, the level of drinking you were. Like, you can't just go back and moderate. You go back to exactly the way you were. And I always said that. I couldn't believe how much, when I first was sober and then got back on it, I was like, this has come back with vengeance. I understand what people are talking about when they're drug addicts. They come back louder, harder and faster.
Yeah.
And it did. And I didn't think I had a problem with alcohol, but I was hammering it. It was, it was quite, not quite right. But anyway.
Is it in AA, I think, where they say they actually say, like, you just can't have another drink? Yeah.
You just probably.
And I actually got asked that a few weeks ago by a friend, and he said, do you think, Breeza, if you had another drink, you'd get back on, like, you'd just go back to where you were? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do think that.
That's an incredible introspection you've just had there, to know that that's what you would do, because I didn't do that all those times. I made the deal.
You made the deal, which I think is natural to make that deal.
Well, because that's what you want to do.
Justification.
Yeah, you want to be able to moderate, but in fact you just can't. Like, you'd get to the point, like, you'd have you'd make a deal, you'd have 2 glasses of wine with dinner, but then you think, you get more bang for your buck by buying a bottle. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So you buy the bottle, but then the bottles, there's never enough in one bottle, is there? Particularly between 2 people. So you're always going to buy extra glasses on top of that. Like, just
100%. That actually happened on the weekend. When I was on the girls' trip.
Yeah.
Some of the girls were hooking into, I actually think it was a jug of sangria.
Oh, well done.
But the waitress said to them, because they're like, we'll have 3 glasses of sangria. She's like, you're better off to buy a jug. And look, she was probably upselling. But we actually worked out, because when we had to pay the bill at the end, the girls worked out that it was actually they would have saved $2 by ordering individual glasses instead of the jug because they didn't even want the whole jug anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Didn't want it. You mentioned about doing deals, Maso, before.
Yeah.
And when I reflect back, I also used to do deals with myself when I was drinking. An example I'll give you is so this time of the year, obviously we've just had Christmas.
Yeah.
So I had a tradition
Yeah.
because all the nice fancy champagne goes on sale in December.
Yeah.
So I'd always buy, a couple of bottles of Verve, some mum, because they'd be like $60 or
Yeah.
sometimes $50. I'm like, I'd hook into that.
You're saving money buying it.
Saving money buying it, that's right. So on Christmas Eve, my little treat for myself is that I would crack a bottle of Verve and I'd write the kids a letter.
Oh,
Right.
my God. This is so cute.
But I'd be like sozzled by the time I finished writing because my justification is this is a fancier bottle of champagne. I'm not putting a spoon in the top of it and letting it sit there for a day.
And what is that, by the way?
I don't know.
So,
I don't know. It's just a placebo effect, I think, of the bubbles staying, nice and crisp. But I was like, no, I have to drink this whole bottle of Verve.
yeah.
Because it costs a lot of money and it's too fancy to have, sitting there for 24 hours and I'll be out on Christmas Day, so I won't get to drink it till Boxing Day. So, yeah, right now I need to drink this whole bottle.
Yes.
Can you relate to that, mate?
100%. 100% I can. Totally. Like you can't.
It's like you said
I don't
before,
know
like,
anyone leaves bottles of wine.
Yeah. Because you think, it's a waste of money.
I don't think I've ever not finished a bottle of wine.
Yeah, right. No tipping down the sink for Maso.
God, no. It's got to, yeah. I don't know.
Right.
At best, maybe it might be 3/4 of a bottle. You might leave a little quarter, but what's the point?
What's the point? You just might as well drink it.
Thinking about making deals with yourself if you want to moderate. I don't know. I heard this thing the other day about, actually, you had spoken about it too. When we first had this conversation, you were saying you had dates that you thought you were going to drink in the next 12 months and you dotted those out. And I was thinking about it and how I felt about that and what 2022 would look like if I was going to drink on certain dates. Even the thought about that is just chaos in my mind to go, okay, I'm only going to drink this night, this day, this wedding, this thing, right? If I do those, what happens? And then you might have a bit of a floating day in there where you might be able to, an unexpected occasion might come up that you can.
Ad hoc day.
Yeah. But then that ad hoc day turns into something really stressful, an unexpected event. Yep. It's this constant, and then you feel bad because you've broken your deal again. So you may as well drink more because you feel shit about it. It just goes around. So, in the words of Michael Jordan, actually, he says,
"Are you going to do his accent?"
No, absolutely not. He says, "Once I've made a decision, I've never thought about it again."
Oh, wowee.
Yeah. So I've made the decision not to drink. Therefore, I don't have to have the head noise of thinking about moderating or what dates I'm going to do. It's just a blanket rule. I don't drink. Therefore, all I need to focus on is my beautiful Altina AF drinks from Brunswick Aces.
I love that, Maso.
It's a goodie, isn't it?
I love it. Just that whole thing, like that whole chaos that you mentioned in your head. Like it's easy just to go, nah, snap, done.
Yep. You never regret not drinking.
Yes, I've seen that floating around the gram.
How good is that?
Yeah, it's a ripper. It's such a ripper.
Yeah.
And you touched on it before, mate, about that whole, once you've broken that deal, you're like, well, I've broken it, so I might as well hook in.
Yeah.
It's the same for me. And this is why I know deep down, I can't go back to drinking because I just know that I'll just be full throttle.
Yes.
But, so when you're like, say if you're eating healthy.
Yes.
You're eating healthy. And then at lunchtime you have a blowout. So you might have gone to the pub for lunch, or when I say blowout, food blowout. So you might have got Macca's, you might have had a counter meal, like you've had a food blowout. Then for dinner, guess what? You're having another blowout. You're getting pizza for dinner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because and that was the same for me with when I think about it with smoking as well. Like, I was like, if I've had one dart, I'm chain smoking for the rest of the night. And I went through a phase where because I would I would dart socially. So I went to a phase where I would have my little snap freezer bag and I'd bring 3 darts with me.
Oh, yes. Prep. Siggy prep.
Moderation darting. And I'd space those 3 darts out for the evening and I'd really enjoy them and make it a moment. And then after that, I'd be like, no more. But with drinking, because your brain and your PFC is affected. You can't make a decision.
No.
You can't make a rational decision.
100%. You go in thinking, okay, yep, I'm only going to have however many drinks. After your first one, inhibition's gone. It's like and because you've decided I'm only drinking this time, and I do this too. You know when there's like happy hours about to wrap up and you've got to get to the bar and get those last 20 pots for $1?
Yeah.
That's what I'd be like. I'd be an animal let out of a cage going, oh, my God, it's nearly midnight. Tequila's like just going hammers.
Loading up.
Because I won't get to drink until the next event. It's just, and exactly what you were saying, and I have jotted down here as well. 1 bit of chocolate. Who's having 1 bit of chocolate? If you're not eating the entire block.
I had the chocolate one written down too.
I will say, though, if you can moderate, kudos to you. Like, amazing if you can moderate and you have that discipline or that willpower to be able to go, no, I'm only having that much. Well done. Good on you.
And I wonder if it's possible, like when we obviously we spoke to Andy last week.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that she, from a very, like her drinking day, I think it was when she had kids, she's like, well, that's it. Like she was never a massive boozer. Anyway.
Yeah, that was
impressive. So I'm wondering if you're either born like it. I'm wondering if like when you start drinking as a teenager, if that sets your pattern up for the rest of your life.
Yep.
So either I'm going to be a booze hound or I'm going to moderate.
There is a thing that I started to have a little look at last night about GABA. That's a whole scientific thing that we might drop in another time about your brain.
Saw that too.
Yeah. We'll park that because it's something we can get into. We'll bring a bit more about GABA and the neuro pathways that happen in your brain of why some people can get addicted to things and some people can just take it or leave it, why we're moderators. That's with everything in life. Yeah, and I think you and I are quite similar, Breeza. Like we just absolutely want to suck every little bit of goodness out of life. We never want the party to stop, ever. Yeah. When people want it to stop, we're ramping it up. And that's really interesting what you were saying about you being an enabler at your girls' a weekend on the weekend. That was really insightful because I'm the same.
I reckon you are too, mate.
Yeah. Always the last to leave.
Yeah.
And I would get upset when people went to bed. Like,
yeah.
I actually, do you know what I used to do? Because if I'm like, I'm always at the stereo as well, like pumping the tunes, getting everyone really cranked up, making ridiculous big punch drinks. There's a story for another time.
I've seen you in action.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, exactly. But I used to actually get my friends, okay, you need to give me a 20-minute warning. If you're thinking about going to bed, you need to give me the heads up so I get used to the idea that you're about to go. And so many times I've been sitting there at the stereo by myself, just like rocking on, just loving myself sick on my own because everyone's gone to bed. What are you doing? I'm having a good time though. No one's hurt. No one's died. It's just we never want the party to end ever.
Never.
No, never ever.
So I think, I don't think I know that moderation for me is not possible.
No.
For longevity as well. Yes, I have done it, for a night here or there, but if I was to live the rest of my life moderating alcohol, it's only going one way. That's going to just spiral south. So I am better off to just not drink.
Yeah, same. It's all or nothing.
the guys from Heaps Normal, I don't know if you've had their
I don't drink
beer. No, you're not a beer drinker, are you, mate?
I used to really love the beers. I've actually got some photos that I'll drop on Instagram soon of like me holding a big beer tower and all the beers lined up. Loved a Carlton Draft. Loved it.
So Heaps Normal, I think they're all in Queensland, the guys the crafters. So on their cans and on their, socials and on their slabs, their slogan is "Life's too good to be wasted."
How good.
How good is it?
I love that.
It makes so much sense.
Oh, they're so clever.
Yep.
Good on them. I love this. Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
And their whole philosophy, again, that they're not poo-pooing booze, but they're just saying, here's another choice. And hey, you don't have to get hammered to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about the other day when one of my best friends spoke about, have you guys thought about having just like 1 or 2 glasses? And we were like, what? But I thought that's really good about the heaps normal beer. And if you are thinking about moderating, have 1 beer, have a heaps normal. Have 1 beer, have 2 heaps normals. You know, if you're looking to mix it up, you can actually mix your drinks and throw a bit of alcohol-free drinks in the mix.
100%. 100%. And I look back and obviously I used to write myself off. So I used to think maybe I'm just drinking to get rotten. But now that I'm not having drinks with alcohol in it, I can actually really enjoy the taste of it.
Do you know, I was thinking about this the other day, something I was going to address when we were talking about alcohol-free drinks. Do you remember when you first tasted alcohol?
Yeah, foul.
Yes. Like, I think about it now with the kids, like, you know, when they've tried some of our drinks and their little faces like screw up and go, that's disgusting, right?
That's so
we drink this substance that tastes disgusting. We don't even enjoy it, but somehow we learn to like it because we like how it makes us feel.
Yep.
Now, with alcohol-free drinks, people are going, yuck, it's disgusting. No, it's not. Since I've been trying alcohol-free drinks, they're so good. They're delicious, and obviously we don't have the residue and the hangover and the shit times the next day.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's an all plus.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
Give it a go. I love that. I remember, do you remember the drink Baronia?
Baronia.
Oh, it even sounds disgusting to say. I just full trashy drink.
Sounds like
this,
wart or something.
Well, it's like this. I'm gonna.
Sorry, Baronias.
Well, it's about 100 years old. It's like this 40 style filth. And I remember drinking it once with a friend in my cupboard at home. And
disgusting.
Vomiting. It was filthy, and I was just drinking it just to get like the effects of it.
Yeah.
I should have been drinking methylated spirits, and I remember vomiting. It was disgusting.
That's foul. Talking about vomiting, that's your body rejecting, going, you're poisoning me. I'm actually putting in this stopgap, going, no, you're actually going to kill me. I'm actually going to throw up to get rid of this alcohol because I cannot process that. You are going to die.
Yep.
And how many times have we thrown up?
Oh, mate.
Countless. And still went back for more.
I might have done a spew mid-sesh.
Make room.
Had a little empty out.
Sober up. Straighten up.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God.
I hope it's not just us that can relate to that.
Let us know.
In summary, is moderation possible, Maso?
Definitely not.
No. It's about bow.
It's a flat out no. No deal.
No deal.
Takes regret, you can't forget. Cellular memory deficit. Takes regret, you can't forget. Cellular memory deficit.
All right, text regret this week was sent in by a listener who was at home having a lovely time folding the washing with their wine.
As you do.
Kids in tow. She was sent 2 skits. All right, so one, they were actually from her husband, funnily enough. So the 2 skits were sent to her. One was a politically correct one. It was about a man thinking he'd created world peace when doing one task that we always have to nag them about. You can imagine.
Yep.
The other skit was a very funny one about sex, like a sexy one that was just totally inappropriate. Obviously, with a little bit of wine. A little bit wind up, a little bit white-wined. She was meant to send the PC one to the mothers group, but accidentally sent the R-rated one to the mothers group.
Oh.
They gave her donuts for like 12 hours. This is when your music teacher needed to chime in and say, hello.
That's it.
Someone needed to just give her a little bit of a chop out.
Oh, no.
Gave her donuts for 12 hours.
Did she die?
dead, a little bit dead inside.
There's a slip of a finger.
Yes,
Whoopsie.
I know.
And
Which is why I really like WhatsApp and Instagram, because you can delete your messages that you sent.
yes,
Yeah.
but you don't need to do that anymore because you're not sending the wrong messages to the wrong people.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
I'm actually going to tell you about a podcast that I listened to. It's really...
no product today.
Oh, I do have a product, but I thought I'll hold on to that.
All right.
Because it's my birthday present to myself. Should I tell you both? No, I'll tell you about my birthday present next week.
Okay.
Okay. So Reco it's called Somehow Related. Have you heard of it?
No.
Glenn Robbins. So Glenn Robbins,
him.
who is Cal Day Knight,
Yes,
Uncle
love
Arthur,
him.
Russell Coit, and Dave O'Neill, who has been on Spicks and Specs heaps. He was on radio, like on Nova years ago, and he also does the Coles Express ads. They have a podcast. It's been around for years. In fact, I think I heard Hamish Blake talk about it, and he said if you're just looking for a podcast that's just funny, sometimes podcast. Here we are. I'm on a podcast telling you about podcasts. How sometimes you're just overloaded with information and trying to improve yourself all the time, or listening to straight, true crime can be dark. This one's just really fun and funny and light. You can put it on any time. So Somehow Related. What they do is they pick two topics and then they figure out how the two things are related, such as, say, the topics are tennis balls and Sir David Attenborough. And then they talk about tennis balls for ages, and then they talk about Sir David Attenborough, and then they work out how they're related. I won't spoil that for you, how they're related, but that is my tip for the week. Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill, and they're just funny. They're comedians. They're just gold.
Brilliant. I love them both. I've actually written that down, Maso, so I am going to listen to that today.
Yes, I'll put it on the Insta as well.
Excellent. Thank you. So my weekly reco is we are heading into New Year's Eve, baby, this week.
Oh,
this
week. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Actually, I bloody finished that Jill Stark's book back in November, and she had some absolutely cracking stats about the number of emergency call-outs that they receive on New Year's Eve. I think it's like the highest day. No, Australia Day is the highest day in Australia.
No way.
Yeah, how's the irony of that?
Wow.
The paramedics receive the highest number of calls. But obviously New Year's Eve's coming up, and I think it's a time of the year where people start making deals with themselves.
Yeah.
That probably most likely, and I've done it before, they get broken by, 3rd of January.
So you've got a good leeway there. Mine was like the first or the second.
So my reco is don't do deals with yourself on New Year's Eve. Like, don't set yourself up for failure. Just rock into it. I mean, New Year's Eve is such a hyped up thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Such a big build up, and then it literally is one night. And we all enjoy getting together with friends and family and hoo-haring and seeing in the new year. But just, keep it real, folks, this year. And if you don't make any New Year's resolutions, it's totally fine.
I agree. I think we put far too much pressure on ourselves for New Year's resolutions that just fall away. I think it's just another day. Do baby bites of goals throughout the year that change, and you've got to be a bit fluid with them and go easy on yourself. Yes, I love that, Breeza. Yeah.
So, mate, we are out of here, but I need to wish you a very happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I love birthdays, and I think we all should celebrate birthdays. When people say, it's just another day or no big deal, mate, there's so many people that haven't made it around their next birthday, so you've got to make a fuss.
Yeah, I'm all about birthdays too.
It's a big deal. So happy birthday to everybody, particularly December babies.
Yes.
It's a shitty time. Yeah. It is. I am going to have a pity party and go, poor me, but... but no, happy birthday to everyone, and thank you. And thanks to everybody for listening. We really love seeing everyone, all the downloads. Get involved in the Instagram page as well. Don't forget to hit up Brunch with Gases and Altina.
And I have to say this, Maso, I will talk to you next year.
Yes. Happy New Year, mate.
Happy New Year. Over and out. Bye.
This podcast is proudly produced by our audio engineer, music extraordinaire, Eric Ladd.
We love you, Eric.